I'm happy for our staff, our program, our team, his teammates, but most importantly, I'm happy for him. He's proud of himself, played with a lot more poise, owned a mistake that he made, talked about it openly with me and the staff, and was convicted to play with more poise and less emotion today. And he goes 8 for 8 from the field, had 18 and 5. Did a really good job defensively too. He's a young sophomore, as is Cannon Catchings. He probably he played in more games for sure than Cannon did last year, but both those guys played really well today, and they continue to improve.
Believe it was a 21-8 run down the stretch. What changed for you guys there?
Got a few stops, just found five guys that put it together a little bit. They missed a couple for us. They missed a couple free throws for us. They're very good. They're coming off their best performance of the year. They're always good, and every SEC team's even better at home, as we are. That said, you got to show up and you got to do it. But they made big shots all the way down to the end. Michi hit what a 45-footer or what have you. They're difficult to defend. Um, they run good stuff. They space you with an ability to really shoot it from the 4 and the 5. So we did a lot of changing our looks defensively throughout the game and really settled in late first half and then settled in down the stretch. And there were two different lineups out there, but both of those combinations of those five guys did a really good job to help us get some stops.
Go to Kip Adams.
Coach Kanan Catchy's kind of had a season high game exactly when you needed it most. But the 3-point shot hasn't really fallen for you guys much this year consistently. But he kind of came through from deep range. What can you say about his shooting and the development he's had for you guys this season?
Yeah, Cannon's a guy that, and I've said it publicly for the last couple months, so I'm not throwing anything out there, for our opponents that they haven't heard me already say. He can really shoot it. He shoots it better than his percentage. He had another, two or three that looked like they were going in and just didn't quite fall. Um, he's a guy, for whatever reason, we can continue to evaluate it as a staff, but he's gotten um, he's gotten lost a little bit in the shuffle offensively at times, especially in certain lineups where you've got a couple really aggressive guys next to him. Credit him, though, for allowing it to come to him. We called his number a little bit today. I thought our guys did a really good job of screening for him, but he did a really good job passing the basketball too, 4 assists, 0 turnovers, and we really played through him offensively when he was on the court most of the time. And every defense will dictate who you play through at times and who's playing well and who's making shots and who's in the game because they're defending and rebounding at a high clip. And I just thought overall he was in the game more as well because he was pretty solid defensively, played really hard, just like Samto. I'm really happy for Cannon because he puts a lot of pressure on himself. Um, he knows he's a talented guy and he he hadn't had just a really good individual game yet. So hopefully this will help him settle in a little bit. He deserved to play well.
Matt Stewart, any questions?
Yeah, Coach, congratulations on the win. You're averaging about 98 a game, but they tried to tempo this game and you scored 75. You were held to 34 in the first half. What does this say about your team showing that it can win this type of game when opponents try to take the air out of the ball and slow you down a little bit?
No, it's a good point. And they're contrasting tempos. They execute so well. They're so solid defensively. You're rarely going to get an early good look against, South Carolina defense. And we were able to execute a little bit at times. I mean, we had some possessions where we set some good screens, made some good passes. I remember one vividly, Smurf a lob to Samto down the stretch, but pretty good screens to set some of that stuff up. I think Samto had a really good screen to allow Smurf to get to a curl, and then he dove out of it. And we're going to have to continue to do that. I mean, at times we'll be playing certain teams in this league where the tempo is off the charts. then there'll be a handful of games where it's like it is tonight. But I certainly didn't expect to come in here and score 98 against the Lamont Paris coach defense. That wasn't going to happen. We did some good things, but especially defensively in the second half. I thought that was the key for us.